One of the things that interests me particularly about documentary is people who are trying to find new ways of describing the world. And for me, it's exciting to see films by filmmakers who are trying to find these new ways as well as finding new subjects.
A lot of the films that are shown at this festival, for instance, are not just concerned with representing certain subjects. They're concerned with thinking about how we can approach these subjects. So that question of formal experimentation, I think, is a really important one.
Sometimes the things that most pull us or impulses us towards something, they don't have a specific answer. I sometimes feel that cinema is not just a gesture or something that you do, but it's also a way of existing or a way of being in the world that implies a certain attention. So I think there's a question of attention and scale that the apparatus of cinema brings, not only to me, but I think to a lot of us, as an intensified experience of really just being alive and living. So cinema for me is also like a kind of a way of being in the world, a way of living, a way of looking and interacting with this world.
I think everything is incremental, and it could be small steps. We have to believe that what we do has some kind of positive effect. Whether it's going to be fast enough, we'll find out.
Such as a festival like Punto de Vista, I think we can have hope that documentary can bring about a kind of understanding that can bring us closer together.
Yo creo que también es verdad que hay escasez de historias un poco positivas, ¿no? A veces un poquito de aire también sería un reflejo de cómo está la situación, ¿no? Que necesitamos cantar, además de contar, ¿no?
Muchas gracias a todos y a todas por venir a este programa número 10.
I didn't learn how to make films in school. I learned how to make films by making them and by watching films in festivals. So for me, festivals like Punto de Vista, this is both a place for me to look at the films I like, and it's a place for me to learn.
Yeah, I think it's unique how they create an atmosphere for the filmmakers and the audiences. They care about the technique, they care about how they are protecting the situation. It's very important how you see something. It's so different, in concern to the places. So I think they do a great job. And also I think how they work together is the same like with us. It's important. You can feel if it's working together in a good way.
Encuentro súper importante el trabajo que hacen desde el punto de vista de ampliar las fronteras de lo que es el cine documental, ¿ya? Y eso solamente puede ser enriquecedor.
In every festival, there is an opportunity to open things for the unknown or for something new. So it's always an opportunity to meet with people that I don't know, to encounter ideas and to exchange thought and to build the dialogues.
To see more films from different perspectives. I mean, as basic as this is, I think it's important to have spaces that, for example, allow the presentation of historical legacies of film and put them in relation to what it's being done today.
So a festival like this is not interested in stating what is cinema, if not in questioning what it can be. And this is extremely important, not only for us filmmakers, but for us film viewers, and actually in order to gear, nurture, and give space to a community of critical thinking.
It just seems like a very respectful, sharp audience. Everything I've been to so far, the screens are really packed, and people seem really engaged. So I'm just really happy to bring this film here, because it's a film that I really care about. So what better than to show it to people who care about cinema.
Al final sabes que son programaciones que van a ser especiales y en las que puedes entrar en la sala sin saber quién ha hecho la película. O sea, yo por ejemplo miro el catálogo de este año y no conozco a algunos cineastas, conozco a Ben Rivers, conozco a algunos, pero hay muchos que no sé ni quiénes son. Pero sé que voy a entrar en la sala y me va a estimular, porque sé que el trabajo curatorial que se hace es importante y esto viene de una tradición de años, ¿no? Un trabajo que empieza con Mugiro, que continúa con José Cerdán, que continúa con Óscar Alegría, Garbiñe, y todos ellos han tenido una línea curatorial muy potente que ha convertido Punto de Vista en un centro de referencia mundial, ¿no?
También me da mucho gusto ver un programa donde hayan tantas mujeres, porque es verdad que a veces hasta en los espacios experimentales es difícil encontrar lugares de equidad, de paridad, ¿no? Como que haya espacios para otras voces.
In our world where everybody is overwhelmed by so many images, by so many sounds, by so many talks, to have a concentration and to experience something in a very dense way, this is maybe a gift to the world.